Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for just being present here. We're going to take a moment to just take a couple breaths, center in our body and in our heart. Maybe notice what big feelings we might be feeling, because Dena will be offering us a lot of opportunity to shift those. So just collective breath together. And through a way that you resonate, deepening just a bit more into your heart and into your breath and into those safe spaces in your beingness. Acknowledging the connection with each and every one of us here and offering our love and our light to one of our fellow co-creative convergence members, Jade, whose home was taken by the fire. And she has been posting so beautifully on Facebook, sharing her experience. So for everyone who's going through deep transformation, through fires, through floods, through words that are being spoken in all of our systems, and here we are looking to harmonize. So with that gathering, we will get started with Dena. And I'm actually just not going to say too much about Dena, because we want to get her to jump in since we did start. Thanks for everyone again being patient. We did start a little bit late. And I think I was most excited about having Dena share tonight because I personally have, I met Dena being a weaver through Co-Creators Convergence. And of course, you get very close when you're weaving together anything in life. And I one day was like, I don't even know what you do. Tell me what you do. And so she began to tell me what she does with all of her healing arts and NLP and hypnotherapy and coaching. And I was like, sign me up. And I did sign up. And I've committed to working with her for maybe 12 months now. And it has heartfully, deeply, and profoundly shifted my life. So I look forward to what you're offering here tonight, Dena, and passing it over to you.
Oh, thank you for making me cry right before I'm about to talk.
Big feeling.
I really appreciate that. And right back at you. I mean, this woman is so special and so just heartful. And I'm just thrilled to have in my life so many of you on the call that I do know that are such lights. You know, the world needs our light now more than ever. And to have this opportunity, and thank you, Noelle and Co-Creators Convergence, for kind of providing this place and for the conversation to offer this time for us to do what we love to do and what we're here to do. So, and thank each of you for coming. Tonight, do want to talk about the big ugly feels, right? There's so many feels right now that it can be so overwhelming. And my journey with feels, I was a stuffer my entire life, just kept cramming them down. And it was when I started through my NLP training, which is a form of life coaching, that like the floodgates opened and I literally bawled my eyes out for 2 days. They had to put up a wall and put me on the other side of the wall during the training because I don't cry I didn't before that because I kept stuffing it. So I released so many repressed feelings, probably like decades worth of feelings during those last 2 days of my training. And then the secret came out, and I was big into the secret, and I knew there was a lot of good stuff in there, but I also knew there was something missing me, something that wasn't quite connecting. It wasn't like it was the truth, but it wasn't the whole truth for me, and it was frustrating, and I got really kind of upset, like they're not telling us everything. And so what it did is it sent me on a hunt. And during that hunt, I learned some things that I'm going to be, sharing tonight as an experience. And, when you first start learning law of attraction, and this, raise your hand if you have some background in law of attraction. Yes, yes. And everyone else is off camera. So I hope your hands are waving. Law of attraction is, what you send out, you're getting back. And, but the downside of that was, I took on a belief that you could never have a bad thought, right? That you could never have a bad feeling, because then you were attracting more. So I became like paranoid that, oh my gosh, I'm having a bad thought. Oh my gosh, I'm having these like negative emotions, and I didn't know what to do with them. And it actually made me more stressed out, because I have all these big ugly feels and no way to do anything with them. And I'm kind of not allowed to have them if I want to attract the life that I'm looking for. So the first thing that happens in that space is you go into this space of fight or flight, right? Because you're actually getting more stress, because I'm having negative feelings, I'm having bad thoughts. And so it's like it was actually doing the opposite of what it was supposed to do. And the first thing that I learned to help with those big ugly feels was to notice when they were coming at me, and how to, I don't want to say prevent them, but just to move into them with awareness. So what does that mean? So instead of just letting these thoughts kind of overwhelm me, just by taking long, slow, deep breaths. When we do that, we tell our body that we're safe. So if you think about afraid, what is someone like? They're contracted and they're breathing shallow. So when you kind of open up, take really long, conscious, low breaths. So I learned this beautiful little, it's a magical breath work. It's just 3, 2, 1. And if you guys want to do it with me, it takes like 20 seconds to do. So we'll breathe in through the nose. When you breathe out, you're going to visualize 3, 3, 3. So you visualize it, say it in your mind. And then you breathe in. And on this out breath, it's 2, 2, 2. Breathe in. And 1, 1, 1. So if you do, go ahead and while I'm jibber jab, just do a couple rounds of that. And so you're seeing it, each number, and you're saying just in your mind. And basically what you're doing is you're telling your body, I am safe. Did you have a question, Noelle?
Do we breathe in and out of our nose? Because sometimes they say breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Are we supposed to do it just?
I usually do in through my nose and out through the mouth, but you can really do any. I think I get a little deeper breath when I do it that way. That's a great question. Thanks.
Dena, this is Raina Shea. I'm a little confused on that breath, what the numbers are about, the 3, 2, and 1.
So the first breath, you're just visualizing a number 3.
Oh, an actual number 3.
The actual number 3. You're visualizing a 3 times, and while you're visualizing it, you're mentally saying 3, 3, 3. Sometimes I mix it up and I'll see like a neon pink 3, and then a neon blue 3, and then a neon yellow 1. I keep mixing up the colors or the fonts, or some people just see a number. I just like to be fancy. So it doesn't really matter. You can't do this one wrong. If you're breathing long, slow, and deep, you're doing it right. And if you're focusing on a number, even if you don't know if it's the right number or the right way, it actually makes it a little bit better if it's a little confusing, because it makes you focus more. So I don't want you guys falling asleep on me. So I'm going to have you, when you're done with your next cycle, go ahead and open your eyes. Don't want anybody nodding off on me here. It's kind of what I do for a living, is put people to sleep, like knock them out and, rearrange things in their mind and then bring them back. So I have that effect on people. So that's the first thing that I learned that really helped me. And, sometimes you're like mid panic attack or mid meltdown mode before you think, oh, I could do that 3, 2, 1 thing. And then each time when you get in the practice of doing it, you keep catching yourself earlier and earlier in the process of going into that fight or flight, so that eventually, instead of going into that space of, being on the crazy train, you like, oh, there it comes. And I'm just going to do my breath work. And you can do it anytime, anywhere. It doesn't cost anything. It's just really bringing awareness to a few breaths with these numbers that you just throw in there. And that's really simply for focus. In training, they taught us that the 3, like each number, like one is for the mind, one is for the body, and then the last one is for the body and mind. But like, you don't have to focus on any of that for it to work. It just works. So that's the first thing, and any kind of breath work can help do this. The more we practice breath work, the easier it gets to catch ourselves before we go into a fight or flight. So does anyone have any other questions on the 3, 2, 1?
So this is an NLP practice? Or
I actually learned this in hypnotherapy training.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Anyone else? Sweet. So then the other part is, we all know that everything is energy, right? Everything, whatever you're sitting on, the computer that you're watching, the light that's in the room, everything that you see, even your feelings are energy, your emotions are energy, and energy can't be created or destroyed. It moves, it's constantly moving. It's moving in and out of form. Even what we think is solid isn't really solid. So when we apply that to feelings, those big ugly feels, if you think about, feelings are some supercharged energy, right? Like the big ugly feels are just energy. They're only bad feelings because we call them bad feelings. So I'm kind of pausing because it takes a hot minute to sort through that. It's like these big feelings that we have that we're carrying around that have these stories on top of them. Energy doesn't care what it is. It has no volition to be good or bad or right or wrong. Energy simply is. It's what we call it. So when I first learned this, I'll be honest, I learned this on a course I took from Paul Sheely of learning strategies. And he speaks my language. He does NLP, he does hypnosis. He is like all the things that I love. He is like an expert in. So I learned this in one of his courses. And I didn't know, he didn't really explain what it was. I knew there was something, like The Secret. I knew it was something, but I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know what it meant for me. So I did this for about 9 months before I understood what it was. Then it was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. But I'll explain real quick the story. I was moving into a new studio, and I did not have the money to make a new studio. And I taught law of attraction, right? So I should be able to manifest all the money I need. And I was at a store, kind of a pricey store, and I was picking things out. Like, I'm just going to pick things out, and then I'm going to add them up, and then I'll take away things if I need to. And it was $1,000 more than I had. So it was like 10,500 was the amount. So it was like, and I had this panic attack, and I had never had a panic attack. I think it was a panic. Like, I did not know. Like, I was so freaked out because I felt like a phony. I'm like, I'm a fraud. I teach this stuff. I should not have any worry about how much it cost. So I flew out of the store into my car, and I'm like white knuckling the steering wheel, and I'm still parked. I'm just like holding onto the steering wheel, feeling like a fraud. And something in me said, you know, because I had been practicing it for 9 months, do the feeling exercise. And I didn't want to, but I did it. And what happened was I could feel all of that energy that was fraud, phony, like stupid, inauthentic, all of those words and labels that I had called myself while I was in the store, they just all fell away. And I felt this raw energy and this pure power and this potential in it that I could use for anything. Is this making sense? Yeah, getting some head nods. So yeah, it was like, you know, ding, 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 the light bulb went on, and I connected to it in this way that moment, I see your thumbs up, Raina Shay, thank you. That moment changed my life for the rest of my life. Like, it changed everything. And so I've been using this feeling exercise, and I can, we're gonna do it together, and then I'll, while we're doing it, I'm gonna get the link and I'll put it in the chat so that when we're done with the call, if you want to keep practicing it, you can keep practicing it. So it's super simple. Does anyone have a question before we jump into the feeling exercise? It's just 4 simple steps. You're going to feel the feeling, take off the labels and the judgments, and then you're going to feel the energy in the feeling. You're going to feel the power in the feeling, and you're going to appreciate. So those are the 4 steps, and I'll break it down for you as we go. It's like, it's so simple that you're going to say, okay, this does nothing. And that's what I said for 9 months. Trust me, this is so, it's like too simple. It's too simple because people don't take it seriously because it's just too simple. All right. So if you end up with any questions, go ahead and just pop it in the chat. So I'm just going to ask you to close your eyes and take a breath. And maybe another one. Oh, and maybe yawn. I saw that. Oh, I saw that too. And now think of something that's like medium upsetting for you, just a little bit. And notice where you feel that in your body. And notice as you feel it, as you bring it into your mind, and as you feel it in your body, notice the labels that are attached to it and the stories that come up. So you're just feeling your feeling. And now start to take off the labels, the names, the blames, the shames, the judgments. Just as each one comes up, just strip it away. So you're feeling your feeling just as it is, no labels, no judgments, no stories. And time after time, every time a new story comes up, a new label comes up, just strip it away. I like to think of, and I think some of us are old enough to remember the little label makers that we had growing up, that you'd do each letter and you'd strip it off and you'd slap that label on, you know, this is my Dena's room, or this is my leftovers, or you'd put it on your camera, or different things. I just imagine like peeling off those little labels, whatever word it is, just peel it off. So you're feeling your feeling, free of any labels or judgments. So you're not trying to get away from it. You're not trying to get more of it. You're just letting it be. And now within that feeling, notice that there's energy. And just give me a nod or a thumbs up or something when you can feel the feeling just as energy. Awesome. Great. So you're just noticing the energy, everything is energy, and the feeling that you're feeling is simply energy. Thank you. So feeling the feeling, taking off the labels and judgments, feeling the energy in the feeling, and now feel the power in the energy. And let me know if you can feel the power in the energy. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. And now if you're not quite there, if you're not quite able to feel those things, that's okay. It does take practice, but we're gonna go on, and then I will put the link in the chat box for later, and you can grab it, and you can keep practicing. So you're feeling the feeling, taking off labels and judgments, feeling the energy, feeling the power, and now you're going to appreciate the energy. You're going to appreciate the power in the energy. And you're going to appreciate yourself for feeling, the energy, and the power. And I'll take a deep breath. Relax it out. One more deep breath in. And relax it out with a and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Yes, Raina, I feel I can use that energy and focus and power to do what I need to do with great clarity and focus. And you nailed it. Like, that is exactly it. What took me 9 months, you just did in 10 minutes, Raina. So good for you. Awesome job. So it is a practice, right? Because those feels come up. They come up and they come up and they come up. And especially right now, there's so many feels. And this practice is so rich and so beautiful. And so at first, I didn't know what to do with that, right? I didn't know what to do with that energy. So what I did that day was it finally dawned on me, and I realized that I could take that energy and move it into my new business, my new studio. And what happened was I ended up talking to my husband about it. He's like, well, just, how much do you really need? Like, just take it out of the savings and do it. And I'm like, but I do everything myself. Like, I'm, proud, and I do it on my own. And yeah, that's right, Noelle. And so that's what I ended up doing. And, I paid it back as I had time. And it was, it was so hard and so harsh during that time. But after it dawned on me, like, I knew that this was gold. And I have been using it. How long ago was that, Leanne? That was like 7 years ago. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been using this for 7 years. And so questions like, what came up for you? Let's have a conversation here. So Raina, do you want to share what, I know you said you had this energy that you could use towards clarity and focus. Like, what does that mean for you?
Well, you asked us, the feeling that came up for me is overwhelmed because I agreed to take on this big project this week, and it's coming together pretty amazingly actually, but I still have like tasks to do, and when it got to be 7 o'clock for this call, I was like, no, wait, how did it get to be 7 o'clock? Like, I haven't gotten enough done today. So I was feeling just that sense of, some anxiety and overwhelm. And when I took away, I had some labels and mind talk about how I can't do this, I'm not good enough, and, false beliefs. But when I took those labels off, I recognized this energy and power within me that if I direct it with intention, is going to help me just work with clarity and focus to get the few things done that I need to get done.
Yep, exactly. There was many years ago, my yoga teacher that said, fear and excitement feel the same in the body. And it's all about what you're labeling it. So if you label it as overwhelm, like that's okay, because that's what it feels like. But you can take that and shift it into focus, to clarity, into momentum, into inspiration, like whatever new story, like all this energy frees up that used to be for the big ugly feels, right? Now it's for inspiration and creativity and love and yeah, so many things. Did anyone else have a?
Well, I just wanted to say too that I've heard that before about fear and excitement being the same physiological reaction in the body. But when I was feeling the fear, I didn't know how to just shift it to excitement. Like, I didn't know how to just tell it to change
It's
it
not
from
an organic thing that we learn.
And so I can see how, what you walked us through in just a few minutes, I did change that from the one to the other.
Yay. And it didn't take you 9 months.
No. I've also been doing this work for a really long time. So.
Gotcha. Anyone else?
Noelle, you don't see us all?
What's that?
You don't see us all? I'm waving, I'm asking to speak.
Please speak. I was looking up my, I was getting the link for everyone that I promised you. So I didn't have the screen on. Please, Noelle, share.
Well, now I feel all ignored.
Well, you can if you want, or you can just change that.
Well, I'll change that. Well, it's kind of funny that Rita Shea said that she took on this project that was kind of feeling like a lot, and I think she is doing a beautiful job resolving it. But I also took on a project that I thought was like,
that everything is energy.
I'm sorry. Oh, everything is energy. I don't know what. Okay, so I also did, and it was getting pretty overwhelming, feeling like I'm, twirling, 30 plates at one time in a very short amount of time. But then, and so there's times where I would take want to take a pissed off break, and but then, it just comes back to, it's like I said, I'm a missionary. I'm on a mission. Get aligned with your mission and walk your talk. And so I had to, slap myself around a little bit. And, you have to refocus. But sometimes, I haven't used the 3-3-3-2-2-2-1-1-1, but I do use things. One things I do is I say, okay, enough of this. I'm walking away from it. I need a state change. And so I might go outside. I might take my shoes off. I might walk around the block. I might, throw my computer through a wall or something, but I'm just kidding. But I'll do something to get myself into a good state where I feel like, okay, I can get back to the mission because the mission is that important to me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I just call it my own self-realignment method.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever that works. I mean, that's awesome. Those are great little snippets to do. And they're all so easy, right? Like they don't take time. They don't take a lot of energy. They don't take money. They just an awareness to do them.
Well, I say it saves me a lot of time. Even though I take the break, I'm much more productive and I'm much better energy. So yes, I'm going to get, just like Raina Shea was saying, she felt more clarity and more, she said something else, let's see, that she had more focus. And so, yeah, I can come back to it focused because I'm going like, okay, it's just like taking the garbage out. I'm going to go for a little walk, take the garbage out, come back, realign. Let's get serious.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Noelle. I didn't mean to be avoiding your waves, but I did put that YouTube in the link. Please mute yourself because as we found out, it automatically starts playing as soon as you click on it.
Well, I've been having a lot of computer connect issues. And so I just upped my service today and I thought, well, maybe I'm frozen or something. So I think I need to go take a walk.
So feel those feelings and just breathe into them and feel the energy, feel the power. That's all it is. Feel the feeling, feel the energy, feel the power, appreciate it all and appreciate yourself for feeling it all. It's so stinking simple. Anyone else want to share?
I want to add, because you taught me this a little bit back, and I have a perfect example of how it's evolved, where I don't even have to really think about that. It's sort of this auto system now in my body. So interestingly enough, as Raina Shea and Noelle mentioned, I also happen to be working on a very big commitment for this next week. And I had this moment today. I was like, am I overwhelmed? And I had been I'm pretty good about the breaks and this and that, but about I did an exercise class, yay. But then after that, about 4 hours straight, and which isn't, the healthiest productive way. But I remember saying am I overwhelmed? And I was literally, learning how to do a Facebook event. I haven't ever done that before. It's not the same in a business page and a personal page, and it's not giving me the same information. And for the life of me, the time zone isn't working still in my understanding brain. So it's these things, along with learning how to use Zoom, and just all these things that I hadn't actually really done by myself before. And I was doing them all at once, and I was getting so much done. And I had about 7 events. So I just said, just keep making them and you can edit, and just instead, before I would have stopped at the first one, been so distracted, said, I can't do this. I need to call somebody. And don't get me wrong, I did call my tech team, which are my 4 boys, and asked for a couple inputs and sent an email to Bob. And, but I kept going, which before for me, some of you know some of my technical challenges. Leanne knows it very well. And, and I hadn't really thought of it at all. I just was excited. I was focused today. I kept thinking the same thing, something that Noelle said, this is work I love. And I actually also am really sad today, just over some heart stuff, but it was I could have that, and sometimes there'd be tears, but it was the power. I didn't even relate it to your talk tonight until now people are sharing. Because when you taught me this a while ago, I had to sort of think about practicing it, and I now just do the auto shift, and it's just yeah, I got this. And I need to cry a little. Let me just throw a sad song. And then I did okay, that's enough. One sad song, you're good. Let's keep going. So I really appreciate, I like the rocket fuel image.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. The one thing that when I first, got into law of attraction, you can't have a bad thought. So I'd push it away. And I found that and you push it away, came this avalanche of bad feels that would come over because, by pushing it away, and I think that maybe is why it took me so long to sort it out, was because I was just trying to push it away. I was trying to get away from it. Like, oh, this doesn't feel good. I don't want it. I had enough of this in my life. No, thank you. And so I just push it instead of sitting with it. And it's so important to sit with that feeling and, just keep on taking off that label and that judgment until a label and judgment doesn't come. It takes some practice. That's all. Just some easy practice. But yeah, it has definitely changed how I operate in this world, thankfully, because I was headed for some really unhealthy stuff in my life because I just had so many big feels. I did not know what to do with them. So anyone else want to share?
I will. I really thank you for that experiment. I've never done that before. And I used an example that happened, a conversation I had a couple of nights ago that just really, hit me emotionally. And it's somebody, that I really care about. And so I even noticed the next day, I was still feeling it. I felt like my energy was being drained. I wasn't really thinking so much about the conversation, but I knew the drained energy was coming from that. And so when you stepped us through that process, I was realizing that they were just all these perceptions that I was putting on that conversation or, reliving that conversation. And who knows if I'm right or wrong, they're just my perceptions. And so they all of a sudden gradually just didn't have any weight anymore. So I can see that if I had done this process immediately when that conversation happened, I wouldn't have gone through that drained feeling and, going through that kind of reeling from something. So thank you for that. I hope I remember it next time when I need it.
Well, you can always click on the link and do it with me.
Thanks.
Hi, Tina. It's good to see your face, girl. You are muted.
There. Yes, I love you, Dena. I've been working with Dena for many, many years, and this is a practice that I don't know where my life would be if I didn't have, because I guess for me, when Dena taught me this before, and I really wanted to do this again, the thought of not having a feeling toward a feeling, a good or bad feeling, was alien to me. It was like, how can that be? But if you think about it, I mean, there's a lot of things in the world. I was just mentioning, there was once a time when it was a good thing to drop a virgin into a volcano. Yes. And so that was considered a good thing. And now we would look at it and say, that is a horrible thing. That is a bad thing. But, we are the ones who construct. I mean, humans and earthly things have been the ones who construct what's good and what's bad. So feelings are the same. So I can have a very anxiety-ridden day or feeling really bad, but yet if I break it down then into what Dena has said, which strip away the labels of that feeling, then it can change your whole attitude of whatever's going on, and you can just move through that feeling rather than experiencing that feeling so much. It's almost as if by stripping it of its good or bad, you can almost push it away, which is not what we want to do, but in a way you are, because you're going through it rather than
neutralizing it.
Yes, neutralizing it. Exactly.
It becomes energy, and energy you can use for anything. Like Raina Shea was saying, you can use it for anything you want.
Yes, exactly. So, I love you. I love you, Dena. I love this. I love everything. I don't know where I'd be without this wonderful, amazing woman. So that's all I got to say.
Love you, Dena. Thank you. Well, we're almost at the top of the hour, and I am able to stay on for a little bit more, but if anyone needs to jump off, I do want to just make again, thank Noelle, thank Karen for being our hostesses.
No, we can keep rolling on.
Well, I didn't know if someone needed to jump off. I
No,
wanted to,
asked Jamin, and he said it was okay.
but I mean, anyone individually, if they needed to jump off, I wanted to tell them, please come back next week because Miss Leanne there is going to be our next victim. I mean, our next, our next lovely who is going to enlighten us with, what is your topic, Leanne?
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about creativity and imagination.
Yay.
Get ready to play.
Can't get enough of that.
Right. We need a lot more of that.
We do.
Projected out in a very positive, glorious, beautiful way for the new earth.
Yes. Yes. So if you need to jump, no worries. If you can stay on, bye, Tina. Thank you. If you can stay on, if you have any questions, or if you want to, we can talk about one other little something I had, but does anyone have something else to add? Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I remember reading the book a long time ago. I think it's by Gerald Jampolsky. It said, "Feelings buried alive never die."
Ooh.
And so, yeah, it's a powerful book, and he also has such a great sense of humor, the way that he writes.
Yeah.
So,
Can you put his name in the book in the chat for us?
I'll put the name of the book. I'm not sure how to spell Jampolsky. I'm going to put this on whatever and go get my book.
Okay. Cool. So one other thing that really helps me is by noticing the questions. So we have all these unconscious beliefs that are driving us through life, right? So we don't know what they are because they're unconscious. So to find out what those things are, what those beliefs are that are kind of simmering underneath the conscious awareness is by noticing our questions, specifically our why questions. Like, why can't I lose these last 10 pounds? So there's a belief under there that's saying, I can't lose these last 10 pounds. And just being kind of going into that, using your imagination and being creative, like this is a really fun thing to do. Like, how many fun ways can you ask that question in a way that does empower you? Like, instead of saying, why can't I lose these last 10 pounds? Why is my body so healthy? Why do I eat everything my body wants and nothing more? Like, just kind of getting funny and silly and goofy. Oh, Michelle found it.
She did?
Yep. On Amazon.
Great. And I found another one, but is that by Gerald Jampolsky? Because I found another one, but it wasn't by him.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I did not click.
Anyway. All right.
Okay, thank you both. So asking bigger questions, you know, for me, the answers lie in the questions that we ask. And so if we can ask big, juicy, yummy questions, I wrote an article a while back on, actually, it's here. That is weird. I have my little booklet with me that has my article in it, talking about how, like, the bigger the question, you ask questions so big that your mind can't answer. And so you ask a question that can only be answered by it showing up in your life. What? So you ask questions so big that your mind, your conscious mind, cannot possibly answer. And so the only way they can be revealed to you, your unconscious loves these riddles, these little, like, sending it out on a hunt to solve something, to get an answer. And so it can only show up as your life, in and as your life. So, like, how much fun is that, to ask a question that your mind can't even answer? Because if your mind can, your unconscious, what do you need that for? Because your mind just answered it. Make sense? Just keep asking bigger and bigger questions.
Can I share something about that, Dena? It's
Please.
Raina Shea.
Yeah.
It makes me think a lot about something I heard once was when you pray, not to ask why, because why puts your brain into analyzing the past, like trying to figure out, the steps that got you to where you are now. And I was told instead to replace that why with how, asking God, how is this going to get better? So for the same reason, so that God could show up and show you how, rather than it being something that you try to figure out analytically about the past. How brings your energy into the future for to look at, let it show up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like an invitation. Our why questions, it's almost like, so in my mind, why questions are prayers. So if we believe in a supreme being, if we believe in a higher power, and so then we send these prayers out in these little air quotes out to God or to the universe. But if there is a God or a universe or something that's listening, isn't it listening to all of it? Isn't it listening to the voice in our head, to our actions, to our intentions, our beliefs, our ideas, our perceptions about life? It's everything is a prayer. Everything we think, we say, we do, they are all prayers. I can see that is soaking in. I'm just going to give it a second. So why not ask really big questions? Like sometimes I just ask, if I don't know what to ask, what's the biggest question I can ask right now? What's the most powerful thing I can ask to move me through this with the most ease and grace?
Can I add to this?
Please, Ernie, how are you doing, sweetie?
For those who have not met me, my name is Ernestine Day, and I do go by Ernie.
Uh-oh, we have 1 minute.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ernie.
My life, my world, since this year has shifted and changed. I understand so much more at a greater depth and understanding. Just like you're saying, Dena, a thought is a split second. If we focus on that thought becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, then it has a grip on us. Mm-hmm. So that's where we have total control over our reality. If you have a thought, if it's a good feeling, you know what? Give it energy, give it thought, give it that beautiful stuff. If it's, we were talking about questioning why, how come? We already have the answers within ourselves. It's us learning to trust from our higher self. We already know the truth. Understand that's where our true power comes from.
Were you all intending to come back, or did the room close on you automatically?
The room booted us.
All right. I apologize.
I guess there's a time limit on break rooms.
There shouldn't be. There really shouldn't be. Anyway,
sorry, I didn't mean to crash your party.
I'm going to send you all back there, if I may. And I apologize for all the whiplash. Really. No, actually, it says that everyone is still assigned to that breakout room.
It gave us a minute warning, and then it just automatically redirected us.
Yeah, no, I apologize. I have no idea why that would be.
We know you missed us.
Yeah, I certainly did. So anyway, let me go ahead and here, let me just try to close all the rooms and just restart. That might work.
Well, right then and there, she was giving us a secret to the universe. How we lost it.
All right, so I'm gonna call it I'm gonna call the room Co-Creators Convergence, and that's a good name. And I'm moving you all back there now.
Go to your room.
Go to your room. All right.
Thanks, Jamin.
You're welcome. And if I see you back here again, I will send you to your room. All right, enjoy your room.
Join. Uh-oh, we don't have everybody. Here we come.
Are we all back? Who are we missing?
I think we're missing someone.
Oh,
Yes, we're missing Michelle. She was still
yeah.
on. And Jamin was one of the other ones, Jamin 2. He must have cloned himself. I'm sorry for the bumps. It went so perfectly last time, didn't it, Karen?
It's still new, right? It's
still
all
new.
still new.
It's still new.
That's okay.
Okay, I think Ernie was talking with us.
Hi guys. That was like, okay, we'll just go this way. As I was sharing about our thoughts, and I'll call it the good, the bad, the ugly, and anything, that if we focus on that thought, the more we focus on it, the bigger it gets. We do create our reality, and that's, for me, that's how we do create. We are co-creators to the creators of our reality. And for me, knowledge is power. And with what Dena shared, like I've known Dena for about 1.5 years now. We knew each other before that, but not at a real level. And with all of us, our journeys, when I say this, is everything is energy, absolutely. Oh, I know where it was at. Is that the greatest gift that the universe, God created, whatever you want to call it, has given us is our instincts and our intuition. And by focusing or trusting that muscle within ourselves, it will never let us down. But our thinking process can interfere and we doubt ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As Dena knows about who I am, or part of who I am, many things, but I channel music. I'm not the creator, I'm the messenger. But because I open up and I channel this incredible energy, I'm not in control, but I allow it to flow. When we hear somebody who's a poet, to anything that they do, to drawing, sketching, anything, when we open up and we just allow that energy to flow through us, don't try to think about it, don't try to analyze it, just allow. To me, those are the people I resonate with. And they come from their heart, their soul, their being.
Yep. Beautifully said, Ernie. Thank you. So, Miss Karen, do you have something else that you want to interject? Sir, I feel like there's something.
Yeah. Stop reading my mind. Like text me. I'm like, are you, what, you have a camera on me or something? Like, no, that was just so powerful. Just the, instinct and intuition. It's actually interesting though, when we did get to the other room, it was like right when Ernestine, it was such this great illustration about a positive thought or a negative thought. Like if you just don't want it to expand, and we just like
to another room.
Went to the other. It's that simple. That worked out really well. No, I think what you were feeling, Dena, is just the sort of transmission that was happening inside of me as Ernestine was speaking, and just that remembrance. I've been on such a journey these past few months of honing and remembering, bringing myself back to my natural gifts of instinct and intuition. And because my thinker can get in the way, I guess I created some painful lessons on how to really know that my instincts and intuition were just spot on. And so as you were, you could feel me, Dena, just receiving that. It was beautiful. Yeah. I did have a thought in my mind though, that I have this beautiful, it's a little bit of an announcement, but beautiful piece that Leanne created for next week, and I don't know if you have that up or not to screen share, Noelle, but I do have that on my desktop when we before we close out, if we want to pull it up.
What are we pulling up? I'm sorry.
Remember the beautiful piece that Leanne created for next week before we close?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was in my brain.
Karen. Yeah. I sent it to you too, Noelle. I don't know who can share screen or if any of us can share screens.
I'm gonna, yeah.
Oh, I can, it says.
Yeah, you're co-host, so you can share screen.
Okay, so when we need to, but.
Great.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. This has been amazing. It was so good to see a couple people I haven't seen for a while, and some people I see all the time, which is both are great. Some new people who I didn't see at all, but I enjoyed.
Yeah, this is really, really great. And I'm just, you know, we have some growing pains today, but you know, we're going to feel those feels and just like let them go because we had a good time together.
That's right.
Right?
Awesome.
So I don't have whatever it is because I've been like in communicado. I have not been on really Facebook, email, phone. Well, I've been on a lot of stuff, but I haven't been.
No
I don't
worries.
know what it is.
Karen,
well, let's put me to the test and see if I can actually screen share since I just learned today. And then if you want to say anything, Leanne, about this beautiful. Does everybody see that?
Oh, you did an excellent job.
So maybe a little what we can expect, a tiny teaser of next week.
Wow. Wow.
Thanks so much. Yeah, so yeah, we're going to be talking about, you know, answering this question or just digging into this question that what if creativity and imagination are capacities that we have that that we can use to tap into higher consciousness? And of course, the answer to that is yes, they are potentials that we have as human beings, but we'll just play with that.
Alert.
Yeah, we'll play with that and we'll have some fun with it, doing a collective process together too. So I'm looking forward to
this is a real treat. I can't wait. So please come back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Maybe a different room, but the same bat channel.
Same bat channel. Okay, let's go ahead and stop that share screen, Karen.
Thank you.
And I would like Dena, let everyone know how they can get a hold of you. Yes, and what your services are, where you're located. Come on, girl, we're lifting each other up here.
I'm putting my website.
Of course, on the replay, nobody's going to see the chat.
Oh, so it's just Dena DeLuco. I'll put my name up there in full so you can see how to spell it.
Yeah, DenaDeLuco.com. Mm-hmm.
And on Facebook, The Evolving Door, or Dena Rupert DeLuco on Facebook is my personal one. And yeah, DenaDeLuco.com, Evolving-Door. Why am I having trouble with this, Leanne? Evolving-Door.com is my other website. So I am a hypnotist, life coach, and all kinds of fun, like empowerment. I usually work with women over 45 who are going through a transition of some sort, either going through a divorce, kind of reinventing themselves in some way. There's, you know, we all have those life cycles. So anywhere in there that you need a little bit of support, a little bit of love, a little bit of some direction, that is kind of my jam. What I absolutely love to do and have a lot of fun doing it. It is my passion.
Awesome. I'm trying to get your website up here.
It is being renovated as we speak. So it may, oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, that was fast.
Yeah, for considering this. Oh, awesome. So here we go.
There you go. There it is.
All right. So different, you can book appointments here and meet Dana and Hillary, who I haven't met yet. Events, private sessions, meditations, right? Oh, Dena, you're writing stuff. I understand you're coming to the Up Convergence this week, and maybe, are you going to be doing any writing there?
Yes, Raina Shea invited me to come on and do a writing circle. I'm not exactly sure the date. I saw something somewhere that maybe it was Monday. Is that correct, Raina?
Yes, it's Monday, 3 to 4 Central, 4 o'clock Eastern.
And then how do people find that? Is that on Co-Creators Convergence? Is it on Up?
Yes. Yes. It's a lot of places. You can go to peaceweekend.org/up. Also, my business page on Facebook is Vitruvian Wellness. And I think you'll be able to watch it directly from there. But the Facebook event, which is there at Vitruvian Wellness, or also on my personal Facebook page, has a link to the Zoom room there. And also at CCC, Co-Creators Convergence, because we will be in the UP Co-Creators Convergence Zoom room.
Right.
And what you're doing is more than like, I'll be on Monday, but you start Saturday and you go through like
Friday.
Friday.
7 days starting Saturday the 12th. I'm doing just 1 hour each day, the literary arts hour. And my theme is words as medicine for the world.
Isn't that great?
And it is. Love it.
And I just had like this brainstorm right before I got on the call with you today, and we're going to have a panel discussion on Saturday with a few of my friends about the state of words in the world today.
I love it.
And how we can use words to create healing, unity, and peace for ourselves and the world.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome.
There's so many things. There's all the things happening all at once. And it's like so exciting to be able to jump on such great things like what Raina Shea and what Noelle are doing, and Karen. Like there's everyone. We're all doing these awesome things in the world.
What a co-creation we got going on here. So Karen, you want to close us out?
Oh, well, Dena, do you have any special little offering that you want to say to close us out?
I feel so grateful to be here and to be in such beautiful company, and thrilled to be a part of CCC and so much more, and to have each of you to hang out with in the world, and that we can do this. Like we all live in all over the place, and we can hang out together and just be together. So thank you all again for coming, and I hope to see everyone back next week.
Right, next week with Leanne, same time. If you ever lose the Zoom number, just go to www.theconversation.cc, and it's right there on the first page. You'll get the Zoom link, okay? And we will be posting up on the CCC and a lot of other places the Zoom link for the 50 hours of broadcast we're having this coming week. So it'll be all over the place. So you can also, as Raina Shea said, go to peaceweekend.org/up and look for the Up Co-Creators Convergence Room, and it will blossom with all these contributions. So please join us.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye.
So much wisdom. Bye-bye.